February 27th, 2026. A calm and silent morning. In the heart of Tehran, inside a heavily secured building, Iran's top leaders had gathered for an important meeting. From the outside, everything looked completely normal. The city was moving just like any other day. But at that very moment, some of the world's most notorious intelligence agencies had their eyes fixed on that building. They believed that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was inside that location. According to various international sources, the American intelligence agency was the first to detect unusually high-level movement inside the building. Information gathered from long-term surveillance was quickly shared with Israel, and from there, a joint covert operation began. Gradually, it started turning into a full-scale conflict. For months, efforts had been made to infiltrate Iran's communication systems. Through satellite surveillance, hacked CCTV cameras, and analysis of various intelligence data, analysts tried, step by step, to determine the exact locations of the country's top leaders. The objective was not to launch a direct attack immediately. First, they needed to be absolutely certain about where the real target was located. Meanwhile, Iran believed its security perimeter was completely strong. Modern defense systems installed across the capital and its air defense shield were expected to keep their leaders safe. That was the general assumption. But in this operation, the war had begun not with weapons, but with information. When every movement of the leadership came under surveillance, even the most secure locations gradually became vulnerable. According to intelligence analysts, this was the most critical phase of the entire operation. Because without confirming the target, an attack would never have been possible. And once they were certain that Iran's top leadership was gathered at a specific location, the decision was made to move to the next phase. The people of Tehran still knew nothing. The city continued its normal rhythm. But behind the shadows, the war had already begun. And history was waiting for its next moment. War and global crises often make our career futures uncertain. However, in today's world, even though many careers face risks due to upcoming economic and social crises, the content creation segment provides a certain level of security. That is why, thinking about the future, we should start taking steps now to secure it. Over the past 9 years, I have turned Mayajal from 0 into a channel with 11 million subscribers. During this Ramadan, I will share with a few of you the strategies and the complete AI integration process I learned along this journey. To learn more, check the description and the first comment. Now, let's return to the video. After the long phase of covert surveillance ended, the operation entered its most critical stage. Initially, the goal was not to assassinate Khamenei directly. Instead, the first plan was to overwhelm Iran's defense systems in such a way that, at the moment of the real attack, those defenses would have no chance to respond. According to various reports, before targeting the top leadership, the first plan involved temporarily weakening Tehran's airspace defenses. For a long time, Iran had relied heavily on its powerful air defense system. Radar installations and defensive networks around the capital were considered the country's main shield. Therefore, instead of striking the main target directly, a diversionary joint strike by the United States and Israel began. The goal was to force Iran's defense forces into dealing with multiple simultaneous crises. Gradually, an unusual situation began forming in the skies over Tehran. Reports of explosions in different areas kept the security forces busy, and at that exact moment, a massive aerial operation began. Nearly 200 fighter jets from Israeli and American bases participated simultaneously in the mission, turning the entire event into a carefully planned and destructive attack. Inside the city, many people still did not realize what the real target was. Distant explosions were dismissed by some as limited military tension. But in reality, the scope of the attack was slowly narrowing toward Khamenei's heavily protected complex, where Iran's top leadership was gathered with him. The skies over Tehran were becoming increasingly tense. Even though reports of explosions were spreading across different parts of the city, the situation inside that secure complex had not yet been considered a full-scale crisis. But at that moment, the most crucial turning point of the entire event occurred. According to security protocols, the leadership should have been inside the deepest and most secure bunker. However, in reality, they were located in a comparatively shallower underground facility. Perhaps the situation had not been considered serious enough, or there had not been enough time to relocate. But this single decision, create